And those attachments, they'll get you every single time, won't they? Hi, this is Andrea Schulman again, and in today's quick law of attraction video, we're going to do a quick 101 tutorial on letting go of attachments. But first, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications because I do put out new videos like this one every single week. All right, let's go ahead and just jump right in with letting go of attachments. The more attached we are to an outcome, the longer it's going to take to manifest. Okay, so if we're really obsessing about getting the promotion, it's just not going to come. If we're really obsessing about your boyfriend asking you to get married, he's going to drag his feet. If you're really obsessing about having the baby, it's going to be real hard to get pregnant. And you've seen it, you know it, okay? We all know it, right? So let's talk a little bit about how you can let go of attachments. The first thing, and no one ever talks about this. This is so important. You have to really get your mind around the fact that obsession doesn't work. There's a real push-pull I see. I've seen it in myself, I've seen it in clients, I see it in people all the time, where they realize that they need to let go, and yet for some reason they feel like they should keep at it, that they should work harder, that they should just put their nose to the grindstone more. And so on one hand, I wanna detach, but on the other, let me go try harder. Oh, let me try to detach. Let me try harder. Let me try to detach. Let me try harder. Maybe you've seen that in your own life. Something that's very, very helpful is to become a very keen observer that attaching doesn't work. So every time you see that happening, where you're really obsessed with something and it's not coming, great. Because it's an opportunity to remind yourself, oh yeah, the obsession never works. We really want to practice that idea because a lot of times what we have is reverse programming. And the reverse programming basically says, try harder, work harder. And if you look around our cultural society, a lot of times that's what's being reinforced. You'll see it on social media, you'll see it on the news, you'll see it on television, you'll see it in the movies. Just try harder, never give up, hustle harder, okay? Have to train yourself to think differently. So that's really the first step, is you really have to get on board with understanding that attaching, over-trying, becoming obsessive only pushes things away. Anytime you feel like you have to try, it's a very big sign that you don't believe you can just have it. You believe it needs to be hard. Second step is make peace with the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Make peace with it. Sounds counterintuitive because a lot of people that work in the field of the law of attraction will tell you, you need to just believe it's coming, believe it's coming, believe it's coming, and don't allow yourself to doubt it, right? But that's hard if you don't believe it. If you are attached, you already don't believe that it's coming, period. If you're really attached, you don't believe it's coming, okay? So making peace with the worst case scenario is an excellent way to loosen your grip on the attachment. And what I mean by this is, let's use the example of the boyfriend dragging his feet. Okay, I want to get married, my boyfriend's dragging his feet. He won't commit, he won't ask me to marry him. Well, if this was what was going on, I would want to make peace with the worst case scenario. Meaning, okay, so let's just say that Tony never asked me to marry him. Never happens. What's the worst thing that'll happen? Well, the worst thing that'll happen is, oh, I guess we'll just keep hanging out like this and we'll keep having fun, or I don't know, maybe I'll dump him and I'll go do something else and I'll be on my own and I'll have to get married later, or maybe I'll never get married and then I can, you know, do whatever else. And just in your mind, walk out the worst case scenario and take a look at it in your mind's eye. When you actually look at the worst case scenario, very frequently, it's not nearly as bad as your attachment is playing it out to be. Like if Tony decides not to marry you, you know what, I'll still be alive, still have my job, still have a place to live, I'll still get to do some cool stuff. you'll be able to see that it's not the end of the world. And when you can kind of make peace with the worst case scenario, it's like, you know what, it'd be great if he asked me to marry him, but if he doesn't, I'm gonna be okay. And that's what making peace with the worst case scenario is all about, is reminding you that you're gonna be okay. So you don't have to continually cling on out of your fear of survival. You know that you're gonna be okay. Now, after you have already done step 2, and you've realized what the worst case scenario is, and you realize it's really not that big of a deal, you're gonna survive. Once you really get that, and you can feel that that's solid, the third thing that you wanna do is start to think of reasons why the worst case scenario might actually be the best case scenario. Now this is really great because it really gets you to just back right out of it. Okay, so what I mean by this is, again, let's say that I'm really attached to the idea that Tony needs to ask me to marry him. Really attached to that idea. Third step, why might that actually be the best thing? Well, maybe it might be the best case scenario because there's actually somebody much better out there for me than Tony. Or maybe it's the best case scenario because if and when he does ask me to marry him, it's actually going to be the perfect time. Or maybe it's the best case scenario because right now there's something else that I'm supposed to be doing that it's the right time to do that. Now, none of those things has to actually be true, but you just start playing that game. Come up with as many reasons why the worst case scenario is actually benefiting you. Hypothesize as many as you can. And when you start getting used to this game, you'll start to very quickly get good at it, to where something bad can happen, or something you're attached to can make itself obvious, and you will immediately start to default into, well, this might be working out for me because of this. And once you're playing that game with things, you're no longer emitting those attachment vibes on that particular subject. Now, the fourth and final stage to my little letting go of attachments tutorial here for you is, after you've done steps 1 through 3, identify something else for you to focus on. We all have lots of things that we're interested in trying out and doing. And when we get really attached to something, a lot of times we go completely blind to all of those other fun experiences that have been calling to us. So after you've backed out of this one a little bit, and now you're thinking that, well, maybe this is gonna work out for the best, immediately ask yourself, what is some fun goal or fun project or fun manifestation that's been calling me that sounds like a good time for me to attend to now? Now, why is this so important? Well, it takes your mind off of focusing and attaching, which is good, but it also gets you attending to something fun. It's a new project that has new fun energy in it, and you can allow yourself to get swept into that, which will raise your vibration. And the really nice thing about this is, once you get engaged with this other project and your vibration is running pretty high, very frequently, for me, more often than not, this thing that I've been attached to will show up for me because I've completely let go of the idea that I need it to happen. I have embraced the idea that whatever happens, I'm gonna be okay, and that what's happening right now may benefit me in the highest possible way, and I've gotten out of it, and I'm having fun. And so the highest possible expression of that dream can come through to fruition for me on the back end. All right, so that's my quick letting go of attachments tutorial. Thanks for watching today's video on letting go of attachments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this video and on this process. So please go ahead and drop what you think below in the comments. And also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, I'm always interested to hear about those as well. And if you like this video, you might like another video that I've recently created entitled, "Is letting go the same as giving up?" And if you look in the description, you'll probably see that there's a link to watch that video now. And finally, if you're new to my channel, please make sure to take my Law of Attraction test if you haven't already. And again, if you look in the description, you'll probably see a link for that Law of Attraction test if you'd like to take it now. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.